shrimp parmesan. It's a very easy dish. There's some fresh celery. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to cut it up in little pieces. Just take your time. Don't cut your hand. Just cut it up as fine as you can get it. You can also use a small food processor if you want. Get some tomatoes and slice them into fours. It really doesn't matter the size of the tomato. About medium-sized tomatoes, get about 5 or 6 of them. The garlic, you just want to give it a little crush. You don't have to smash it to bits. Just give it a little bit of a tap. Just a little tap. I use quite a few here. I actually quite enjoy the smashing part. You want to put a little olive oil in the pot. It's a couple tablespoons. Add the garlic. Add the tomatoes. I'd like to add whole tomatoes to give it a little body. Also added some oregano, fresh oregano. I just cut that up a little bit. There's our fresh Italian parsley that we cut up earlier. I'm going to add some spices, some pepper, some paprika, some cayenne pepper. Now the crushed tomatoes. Just 1 can. And I just rinsed the bowl out with water and just added that water to it as well. And just mix it up, bringing everything together real good. 5 bay leaves, chili flakes, some basil. Bring that up to a boil. That's just some Himalayan salt. Just some sugar, just a couple tablespoons of sugar. Just give it a mix and just let that cook for about an hour. The tomatoes are going to break down, the sauce is going to thicken. All the flavors are going to come together. This is just the first part of our build for our shrimp parm. After about an hour, it looks like that, nice and thick. I want to fish out those bay leaves. You don't want to eat that. It'd be gross. Yeah, I think I got them all out of there. I hope so. 'Cause I sure ate it all. So we're going to work on our breading station. I had 3 eggs here. About a tablespoon of sriracha. There's a few drops of Worcestershire sauce or W sauce or however you're supposed to say it. Mix it up, bring it together. I didn't speed the camera up. I'm really actually spinning it this fast. So in a bowl, we're going to combine breadcrumbs and flour on 1.5 cups each. And then just bring them together. Just mix, 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 mix. Now with our egg mixture, we're going to do the dreaded dredging. So I have some shrimp, Then I put in some salt, pepper, and lemon juice. I just let that sit for about a half hour. So we're just going egg, flour mixture, egg mixture, flour mixture. Just going back and forth. You can double dip if you want. It'll probably make it a little more crispy, but these will be crispy enough, trust me. There's no need for that to add too much breading to it. Yeah, who needs those extra carbs? There's enough flour in this, enough breadcrumbs. And there you go. You can leave it in the refrigerator for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's what I did. So you heat your grease up to about 350 degrees. You can go a little higher because the temperature is going to drop once you put the shrimp in there. And you can't fit both batches in there. You can't fit all the shrimp in there, so you got to do a couple batches. So I'd recommend about 365 degrees. Because you want the shell to cook. You want the outer crust to develop. The outer crispiness to develop. And then the shrimp to cook in the inside. The shrimp doesn't take but just a couple minutes to cook at that degree of temperature. So you don't want the shrimp to be all rubbery and bad texture and not tasting good, and you got this crunchy, burnt crust on the outside. I'm just showing you a different angle. But that's it. That's what they look like. Just a couple minutes, about 3 minutes at the most. A minute and a half on each side. Once I put them on a paper towel to drain, I added some lemon juice. I didn't want to use that many shrimp, and I couldn't find the right size exact pan. So this pan's a little big for the little amount of shrimp that I use, but it still turned out right. Still turned out fine. With every scoop and every bite, every serving, I got at least 2 or 3 shrimp. So the first layer you want to lay down is the sauce, and then you want to come in with the shrimp. I probably lay down about 5 or 6 of them, and then I'll come with the cheese. I use Parmesan cheese and mozzarella. So this is 2 different cuts of Parmesan. They're both Parmesan cheese. Just put some sauce on top of that. Our beautiful sauce that we've been making all day. And I use some fresh mozzarella. Real mozzarella. That's what it's supposed to look like. Let's put a few more shrimp on top of that. Just 2 layers shrimp, 2 or 3 layers. You don't have to make it like a perfect lasagna. This is Parmesan, so essentially it's just the meat fried with cheese on top of it and tomato sauce. So you could just keep going. Cheese, meat sauce, cheese, sauce, meat, cheese sauce, meat, cheese sauce, meat. Just keep doing that. It'll be just fine. Make sure the sauce is hot so it can, melt the cheese. It really doesn't matter because you're going to put this in the oven anyway. But I like for the cheese to get melted right away. You can even mix this if you want, but I'm not going to do that. I'm make it more like a casserole or more like a fixed dish that I could just scoop out. And you can do this any way you want. This is just the way that I did it. So there's just some more fresh Parmesan, some more fresh mozzarella. I just emptied the whole bag. Cheesier the better. Really can't go wrong with too much cheese. You can even come back with more sauce right now if you want to. That's what I'm gonna do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use all this sauce we made. If you don't use all the sauce, you can use it for another dish. You can make you some spaghetti, some kind of pasta dish, a little lasagna. That sauce is your basic tomato sauce. That's my go-to. That's my own recipe. That's what I put in my tomato sauce. So I'm just shaking it out so to just even it out a little bit. And then in the oven, 375, 40 minutes. And that's what you have. I wanted to add a little more color to it. It's pretty much fine right here. It's fine right here, just like this. But for me, I wanted it a little more color, a little more crispy. I wanted the cheese to get a little more crispy. So I put it under the broiler for about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes. And nice and sizzling and those crispy brown edges, that's what I want. That's how I like it. So, and it turned out great. It was delicious. I ate the whole thing. It was so good. I had it with some asparagus. There's another angle. And another. Very good. Make sure you try it.